Thank you for watching this Corn Belt Regional Forecast for Tuesday, February 25th. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We're watching piece number 2 of our two-part storm system make its way through the Corn Belt today into the day on tomorrow. That would be Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's bringing some wintry impacts from the high plains all the way into parts of the central and eastern Corn Belt. We've got winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in effect from Wyoming, parts of Montana, across South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and portions of northeastern Colorado. We've also got a winter weather advisory in effect for portions of north and northeastern Missouri, getting into portions of western, central, and northeastern Illinois, with a winter storm watch extending across portions of southern Michigan, northern Ohio, and northern Indiana. So we take a look at the temperature map. Again, it's right along this dividing line where we're hugging the lower 30s and the upper 20s, where temperatures are going to begin to fall. We've got the precipitation in the area, and we'll start to change over from rain over to snow across portions of the area. As we look at the visible satellite picture, we've just got a lot to look at, really. We've got leg number 1, the first piece of our storm system, a very strong subtropical jet apparent right there. We've got the counterclockwise flow, the comma shape right here of our first area of low pressure. We've got lightning from thunderstorms across the Gulf of Mexico, even into portions of Georgia and the southeastern United States. And then you see this other well-defined cyclone. This is the second piece that is rotating across the central plains right now and will continue to swing in across the Ohio River Valley overnight tonight into the day on Wednesday. As we look at the water vapor picture, again with the 500 millibar wind and vorticity maximums marked here. Again, you can see the picture, the very strong jet stream winds. Right here we've got the dry slot. This is what's working into portions of southern and central Illinois, portions of central and southern Indiana. It will actually bring precipitation to an end for part of the day today before the second leg rotates through. This first little upper level low, this first wave, is actually creating some heavy wet snow and some rain across portions of eastern Iowa, western Illinois, getting into central and eastern Illinois. And then here's the main piece of energy here back across the central plains. So you look at the radar, here's the first wave, that area of rain and snow making its way across portions of Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. The main wave still lingering back toward the west, and that will continue to dig into the Ohio River Valley during the overnight and day tomorrow. Now here's the Winter Storm Severity Index. This is a product issued by NOAA. It's an experimental product, and it helps to kind of combine the snow, the ice, the wind, temperatures to kind of give an overall threat here in those potential winter storm impacts. And we see the highest right now with moderate impacts across portions of northeastern Illinois into northern Ohio, northern Indiana, and southern and eastern Michigan, with some red showing up here. That would be major impacts here across portions of southeastern Michigan, the Detroit area, perhaps seeing some major impacts there with heavier snow expected across the region. Now, the reason for the moderate impacts in this region from northeastern Illinois into southeastern Michigan, that is a combination of the snow, about 2 to 4 inches, locally higher expected in that area, but also the winds, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, perhaps higher at times, expected across that region during the day today, tonight, and into tomorrow. Again, kind of zooming in on that, it's from about the Champaign to Bloomington area, and then off to the northeast across portions of northern Ohio, Indiana, and southeastern Michigan, where some of those moderate impacts are expected. Now we can kind of talk about the timing on these as we look at the high-resolution NAM model. As we get started on Tuesday, again, wave number 1, rain and snow moving across portions of far eastern Iowa and Missouri, primarily central and central portions of Illinois. And then wave number 2, this is the second piece that comes swinging through here tonight and tomorrow. Let's go ahead and actually look at the forecast there. I stopped before actually playing the loop. Let's go through the morning today into the mid-afternoon hours as the dry slot works its way into portions of central and southern Illinois, into southern Indiana. We'll see precipitation likely coming to a brief pause in this region, or in that area where maybe rain and snow comes to an end as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Moisture begins to kind of repopulate as the second wave begins to dig into the region. So now we're seeing snow fill back in across this region, across portions of central Illinois, across eastern Missouri, and then eventually downstream into northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and portions of southeastern Michigan. The impacts across Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan are going to be the most intense as we get into the late overnight hours, primarily into the morning hours tomorrow. This is sunrise on Wednesday morning, so as we get into Wednesday morning, about 6 or 7 in the morning, snow still falling across western and central Illinois. Let's go ahead and kind of mark here. Central Illinois seeing that snowfall, and then up into portions of northern Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, with snow beginning to taper off from west-east across the region during the day on Wednesday. As we get into mid-afternoon on Wednesday, probably seeing that snow come to an end across central Illinois, getting towards the Illinois-Indiana border, coming to an end across central Indiana as we get into Wednesday evening, and then tapering off overnight Wednesday night across Michigan and Ohio. Now, I talked about the winds. We're already seeing wind gusts from 20 to 30 miles per hour across a large area of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes on Tuesday morning, and those winds will continue through the day and into the overnight and tomorrow morning. This is what it looks like at about 2 or 3 in the morning, and we're still seeing those strong winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour coming in on the backside of the storm system while heavy snow is falling across this region at times. So low visibility possible as we head into the morning hours on Wednesday, potentially treacherous Wednesday morning commute, again across this circled area here from portions of central Illinois across northern Indiana, getting into southern Michigan and northeastern Ohio. The northern extent here, not quite so certain. As you get up towards Interstate 80, it looks like snow might begin to taper off across northern Illinois, with lesser amounts expected up towards that region. A look at some of the total forecasts here. Snow totals. This is from the National Digital Forecast Database. I'm kind of leaning towards this the most. The models are really struggling with this. I think snow is going to be rather splotchy across the region, so it's going to be hard to pin down exact amounts, but I feel pretty comfortable across this region with 2 to 4 inches. That's from northeastern Missouri across central Illinois toward the Illinois and Indiana border. And then as you head off toward the northeast from there, this is where those heavier snow total amounts of anywhere from 6 to 8 with locally higher amounts could be possible across northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and then portions of southern and eastern Michigan. And again, this is where we could see those strong winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour during the overnight and the morning hours tomorrow as well. So a high impact, or at least moderate impact storm expected from central Illinois across southeastern Michigan. Total liquid precipitation here, and again, where the heaviest precipitation falls, this is where we could see anywhere from a half an inch to around, I think on the high side, probably around 7 or 8 tenths of an inch. I don't think we really get higher than that. As we look at the probabilities here from the European on the left, GFS model over on the right for greater than 3 inches of snow accumulating. We see one corridor here across the high plains, and then again, that same region I've been talking about over and over in this video, central Illinois into northern and central Indiana, northern Ohio, and southern and eastern Michigan, or where we could see that potential for, again, 3 to 6 inches, 2 to 4 inches across this region, and then the higher 6 to 8 inches off to the north and to the east. Now, as we just take a quick peek into the longer range, at least first in the medium range, we can watch the 500 millibar vorticity plot, bringing it back to today. Let's go ahead and just quickly wrap this up, bringing it back to today. Here's, again, the two pieces. The first one bringing the rain and snow to the region, portions of central Illinois right now on Tuesday morning. The main wave lingering back across the central plains. We'll see this one sweep off to the east quickly as we head through the day tonight and tomorrow. Again, that is our primary winter storm that we're talking about right now. This lifts out of the region on Thursday into Friday, and then we see a couple little upper-level disturbances within the northwesterly flow here that could bring some light flurries to the region, portions of the Midwest and the eastern Corn Belt Friday into Saturday, but no real additional accumulating snow expected with that. We'll look quickly at the European model's precipitation type. Again, focused on this corridor here for the first round of snow as we head through the early part of the day today, and then this is our primary winter storm corridor as we get into tonight and tomorrow. Watching the precipitation as we head into the evening tonight, overnight, midnight now, getting into sunrise on Wednesday morning, midday Wednesday, and now getting into Wednesday evening, snow tapering off from west to east overnight by Thursday morning. As we get into the day on Friday and Saturday, this is our corridor where we could maybe see some very light snow flurries with some of the energy coming around on the backside here. Not talking about accumulating snow, just the potential for some flurries, maybe a couple bursts of snow here that will last just several minutes. Taking a much wider picture, I want to kind of show you that this is the first wave that we're watching moving through. This is our winter storm right here. You'll see the couple pieces of energy coming in with the northwest flow there. As we head into Friday and Saturday, you're going to see a bit of a lull, and then we've got some big action coming in from the southwest as we get into the first days of March, signaling perhaps an active pattern resuming as, again, we get into that 7-day time frame. So here we're into Friday and Saturday, watching again the potential for some very light snow flurries coming through this region. Friday into Saturday, a period of quiet weather as we head through the weekend, and now you're already starting to see a trough begin to dig across the southwestern U.S. And as we head into the early and middle part of next week, we're going to start to see this begin to lift into the Midwest with potentially activity beginning as early as Monday and Tuesday. It looks more likely that we'll begin to ramp up here Wednesday into Thursday of next week, but this is an ominous look a week out, so potential that we'll have lots to talk about across the Corn Belt as we get into next week. And again, very early to begin talking about potential impacts, but we've seen some signals here that parts of the Ohio River Valley, the Mid-South, Kentucky, and Tennessee, perhaps seeing potential for some early severe weather, severe thunderstorms as we head into the early part of March, but that is a long-range topic that we'll save for a bit later. Just one more look here at the European model's precipitation type, watching this first storm swing through the area over the next 48 hours, watching that opportunity for some light snow flurries through this region Friday and Saturday, watching for a quiet weekend, and then as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week, starting to watch things ramp back up across the Midwest into the Ohio River Valley. As we look at temperatures, we do see some cooler weather on the backside of this trough as we get into the late part of the week, but as we begin to dig a trough across the southwestern U.S. Over the weekend and into early next week, we're going to start to see those temperatures rebound. Here's the cooler weather that comes in. It'll be coolest where we see snow accumulating across this region as well, and then where we've got the thick snowpack across the upper Midwest. But then again, let's get it over towards here. Now we're getting into Sunday, getting into Monday and Tuesday. As we dig a trough across the western U.S., a ridge in the east, that is prime for developing low pressure across the central United States, and of course warm air advection in advance of that, bringing in warm and humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. So that sets the stage for more active weather as we get into the first few days of March. Quick look at your high temperatures just to wrap this up. I have thrown a lot at you between the winter storm today and the potential for an active next week. Your high temperatures for the day today, anywhere from near zero across the upper Midwest and the Dakotas to the 40s and 50s to the south. Cold air continues to sink off to the south, and again, we'll have a fresh snowpack across this region as we get into the day on Wednesday. Here are your Friday high temperatures. We start to rebound as we get into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, high temperatures back into the 40s and the 50s across a big chunk of the Corn Belt. Your overnight lows as we head through the next several days, waking up tomorrow to temperatures below zero across a big chunk of the upper Midwest and the Dakotas. Starting to warm up, though, as we head into the later part of the week. Friday morning lows, Saturday and Sunday. I hope you have a great day.